From oil town to cultural crown, the Point Fortin Borough Day legacy. Let me take you on a journey that begins long before the bright lights and music of Borough Day. Once, the land we now call Point Fortin was a patchwork of three great estates: La Fortuny to the west, Clifton Hill to the east, and Adventure in the middle. These were places of cocoa and coconut, bordered by the sea, where the only sound were the wind in the trees and the waves on the shore. In those early days, there wasn't even a village, just scattered estates and thick forest. Then, oil was discovered. The arrival of Shell Trinidad Limited changed everything. Roads were built, guarded by barriers and estate constables. Workers flocked in, and soon shantytowns sprang up, built from whatever materials people could find. Chinese shopkeepers set up stores, and the village began to grow. With every new oil well and every new worker, Point Fortin transformed. Paydays became markets days, and the once sleepy area buzzed with life. Over time, the oil industry took over from agriculture, and the landscape changed from green plantations to tanks and refinery buildings. The community expanded, new villages popped up: Mahika, Techie, Egypt Village, and the people built a life around the oil fields. The hardship of the Great Depression and the labor unrest of 1937 tested the town, but Point Fortin endured and kept growing. By the late 20th century, it was a thriving township, known throughout Trinidad and Tobago for its industry and resilience. But Point Fortin was more than just oil. It was a place of community, of culture, and of dreams. In 1980, after decades of growth and struggle, the government granted Point Fortin official borough status. This was a moment of pride, a recognition of all the people had built together. To mark the occasion, the very first Borough Day was held on April 30th, 1980. At first, the celebration was simple: a parade, some music, and a gathering of neighbors. The local leaders had an idea: use Borough Day not just for pride, but for economic relief. They encouraged families to open their homes as bed and breakfast, inviting returning national to come home for the festivities. This simple idea sparked something big. Each year, the celebration grew: more music, more maz, more pan, more parties. Soon, entrepreneurs from all over Trinidad and Tobago were coming to set up shop, and Borough Day became one of the largest national events outside of Carnival, attracting over 30,000 people every year. Today, Borough Day is a month-long festival. It features everything from sporting events and school competitions to steel pan parades, traditional masqueraders, jouvert, and military marches. The celebration is a showcase of Point Fortin's spirit, its history, its culture, and its people's ability to turn challenges into triumphs. So, when you hear the drums and see the crowds, remember, Borough Day is more than a party. It's the story of a community that grew from estates and oil fields into a vibrant borough, a celebration of resilience, unity, and the enduring heart of Point Fortin,